convicted while innocent, and government perjury will convict you as you look at the beautiful American flag. So welcome, come on in. Charles Van Morgan Show. We're going to talk to you about how the government, people in government power, will convict you while you're innocent of crimes. You think you won't go to jail because you didn't do anything wrong. Well, the government will lie under oath and make it up. And we're going to show you concrete proof and evidence of just that. The government convicting innocent people, and we're going to show you facts and evidence where it's just laid out plain and simple where they've actually done that. So welcome to the Charles Van Morgan Show. Come right on in. We're going to talk to you about being convicted while you're innocent. You will be convicted innocent. Isn't that scary? To be convicted of a crime while you're completely innocent of doing anything wrong. So it can happen. It does happen a lot. And we're going to talk about the execution that's set for tomorrow. Whether or not that'll take place or not is a subject of debate because of the previous botched execution. Defendant is trying to get out of it. Let's get set up here. Welcome. You're listening to the Charles Van Morgan Show. Because of the previous botched execution, supposed to take place tomorrow at 11 o'clock Knoxville time, execution tomorrow in the great state of Tennessee. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. It's on the news today. So Miss Jenkins, Catherine Jenkins, and Carlene Slimmer are the two names you need to remember. The perpetrators are irrelevant. They should be dead pretty soon and never be to be remembered again. So Miss Slimmer, her perpetrator's execution date is set for September the 30th, and Catherine Jenkins, her murderer, is set for tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll see if that takes place. I hope that it does at Riverbend Maximum Security Prison out in Nashville, I think. So the government has taken years and years to execute people that are guilty of heinous murders, and it's pretty sick and pathetic. John MacArthur, a famous now deceased pastor, has said, echoed the same thing I'm saying, the most dangerous threat to America is our government. A pastor, ordained pastor, minister of the Word of God, dedicated to telling the truth, has said the same thing I'm saying, and others say, that the greatest threat to America, the greatest threat to the state of Tennessee, is not a foreign country, not murderers. The greatest threat to America is our government, people in government power. So let's get the target right. Now, this is not a violent war. This is a political war, a war of messaging. We've got to get the message out. And we're going to talk about the government, what they're doing now, allowing murderers to pretty much roam free without suffering the consequences while they committed these brutal murders, and they're still subject to possibly getting out of them. Hello. And so they're still subject to possibly getting out of the murders because of the boxed execution with Crothers. So we got a crowd of dogs that are yapping for us. So come on in, you're watching Charles Van Morgan Show. Got a real good show for you today. Got some more technology we're going to use. And we're going to talk to you about the greatest threat to Tennessee, greatest threat to America, is our government, people in government power. Now, I'm not just making that up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And we got a great crowd of witnesses. This has been said by many from the pulpit of our great churches that preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. They tell you that the greatest threat to Tennessee, the greatest threat to America, is people in government power. And I'm going to spell it out for you today. Some of the things they do. If you think you're going to skirt free because you're not a criminal, you fly right, you obey laws, then you'll be sadly incarcerated in a jail cell. And they probably won't even give you a Bible. It's probably against the Constitution, their rules, to give you a Bible while they're in prison. At least if I were in government power, I would make available a Bible for prisoners, but they do have a law library. They don't have access to that at night. But the greatest threat to America, the greatest threat to you, we got some people wondering what we're doing. Broadcasting live to the world, talking about how dirty and corrupt Tennessee government is. Share this message, subscribe. You won't hear this stuff anywhere else. Not in the plain, undoctored language that I use. Why? Because it's dangerous as hell. Very dangerous to say what I'm saying. None of it is illegal. This is peaceful. I'm just putting out truth. I'm not advocating any type of violence against these people. They're advocating violence against me. They already have. It's not like, oh, they don't arrest me and beat me up or try to kill me. They already have. They already have. They're conspiring right now to do me great evil. But I've always lived a life of being in a place of danger. That's my forte. I'm a fighter. And I believe that God's got me. So if you want to hear the truth, undoctored, about the state of the government in the United States of America, specifically in the state of Tennessee, subscribe to this channel. Help me get this message out. You'll hear the truth. Like right now, so help the algorithm get the message out. And this is a war of messaging. It's not lethal bullets like they need to be firing tomorrow against somebody that brutally murdered somebody for money back in 1985, and they're still alive today. That's your government. Let murderers roam free in a prison. They're basically free, but they'll convict you innocent by crimes by the government. The greatest perpetrator of crimes is the government, people in government power. This is a war of messaging. I'm not trying to shoot them. I'm trying to send a message out, a warning. Hey, your government is the problem. People in power, they're dirty as hell. They're crooked as hell. They commit crimes against you to incarcerate you. You won't skirt by. They don't need a reason you're going to jail. They will lie, cheat, rob, and steal to put you behind bars to control you. It's all about control. They want to control you. What do you think they're putting all these flock cameras up for? They want to have their eye on you 24/7 to wrongly incarcerate you, put together a case that's not there. That's what they'll do. I'm sending out the warning. You don't have to listen. You don't have to believe me. But when you get in a jail cell, what I'm telling you will maybe seem a little more clear to you. You don't have to go that far. God's put me in this place at this time to send out a warning. And my job is to put the warning out. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. I'm telling you, there's a sheriff's deputy. I'm telling you, 200 people are in. I'm telling you, you would be well advised for your own safety and health protection, well-being, and your family to listen to me. Now, it's no shame on me if you don't listen. That's on you. I lose nothing. My job is to put the message out, and that's what I'm going to do. In danger, in severe, extreme danger, by the government, people in the government. You think there's some strange enemy coming in from other countries, invading our countries, illegal aliens, and they're the enemy, a lot of people think, illegal aliens. But what you fail to realize is your government is letting them come in. They're already here. Your government did that, allowed an enemy invasion. And there's the Knox County schools. So they got one police officer at all your public schools, and probably 100 guarding the judge right here at the courthouse. So you got one police officer. Your government's doing this. It's just one simple thing to figure out. One police officer, they advertise that on the news, bragging, the news media. There will be one police officer at every school in Knoxville and Knox County. What a joke. One. What if they go in the back door? Or he'll be at the back door. Then they go in the front. I mean, come on, one police officer at every public school, and they're bragging about that. They need more than that. They need more than that. These mass shooters have one target to put down before there's just a killing field. Shows their priorities. But you go over here to the Knox County courthouse. There's 100 police officers there, and that's not us, but that's where the sheriff's department is. Hundreds of police officers protecting a dirty judge. Your government's dangerous, and the dirty judge is sitting there allowing people to commit perjury, protecting the perjury, stamping the weight of law on their lives. They do that daily in a Tennessee courtroom. You think I'm joking? Laugh on when you're behind a jail cell. And believe stupidity, what the government's telling you. That'll tell you something. They got one police officer at every public school. Hundreds, let's get across this road here, guarding judges to allow lies, to allow perjury that will wrongly convict you of a crime. That's what they do. So yeah, when the judges are that dirty, they have to have hundreds of police officers protect them. You go down here to this courthouse, and I'm not saying do it, don't do it, and you try to arrest one of these judges under citizen's arrest, and hundreds of police officers will knock you in the head, beat you senseless, maybe kill you, and get an award for it, and go to the top of the sheriff's department totem pole, get higher rank for lying on you. You go to one of these schools over here, they got one police officer, and they're bragging about that. One police officer compared to 100. And these judges, dirty as hell. The most innocent society are little children. Little children, they have one police officer, and they're bragging about that. They'd have a hell of a lot more than that. That's your government. In the words of John MacArthur, the most dangerous people to America and our way of life is the government. The government. Godly pastors are echoing my words. This is a messenger. Hey, this is the message. I'm the messenger. You know, don't kill the messenger. Good luck trying. I'm pretty adept at self-defense. So, I mean, look at the data. People who have went against me haven't fared very well, regardless of their false propaganda. You know, God is with me, and I pray for all of you all, except for the wicked followers on here. I pray that you come to your wicked demise for spitting out lies. So, people in government power will convict you while you're innocent with crimes, with perjury. I'm going to show you a case where they did exactly that. They will stick it in your face, brag about it, put out rulings on Valentine's Day to show you we hate you. We're going to rule against you to cause you trouble, pain, and sorrow, even though you did nothing wrong, using perjury. Promote the person that committed perjury in a high position, give them more of your money, and put that out on Valentine's Day to show you that we hate you. And go right on, I don't care. God hates people that do evil. So this is a lot bigger than me. So you go on with your dirty. I'm on the right side of God, the real law. And your day's coming. And people rage that are heathenish and violent and dirty. And God's laughing at them. God laughs at these people. They're not going to win. They're not to be feared. So Miss Catherine Jenkins and Colleen Slimmer, they're murderers, brutal murderers. They killed these people. These murderers killed these people brutally. One of them, Kathleen Slimmer, was beaten for about 30 minutes to an hour over on the University of Tennessee campus. And you know, that's wide open. There's a lot of students over there. They brag about how safe that place is. One of the most brutal murders in America that happened in the public view, possibility out in the public, not behind walls or doors, right out on public roads and streets, under cover of dark, but still wide open in the public, happened on the University of Tennessee campus. One of the most brutal murders in America, where there's students. They don't like to talk about that, but I'll talk about it. Why? Because it's the truth. They don't protect you, and they won't protect you, and they're not protecting you now. The murderer of Kathleen, of Miss Slimmer, was brutally murdered and beaten, stabbed, and cut for about 30 minutes to an hour, numerous times trying to escape to protect her life, while 3 horrific demons, and they literally were devil worshipers, made her suffer intentionally in a jealous rage and brutally murdered her right on the University of Tennessee campus. So, brutal murder over there. Over 30 years later, the government has not performed the function of protecting you that it should. 30 years later, now they won't put it like this, but I'll put it to you the way it is. They have protected a murderer. They have made sure that you can't get to her. Protected her better than they protected the person that she murdered. Probably screaming, hollering, getting up, trying to get by while she's getting stabbed, trying to get away from her murderers. 30 minutes to an hour, trying to get away. She wasn't protected. She wasn't protected. Blood all over the road. A police officer literally later drove through the bloody crime scene thinking it was transmission fluid. And she wasn't protected. But the woman and the other 2 people that murdered her, brutal murder. And this is in the news. This is future. That's past, but the future is what I'm worried about. The brutal murder's already done. And this is the way the government will do you. The brutal murder already done. Over 30 years later, they've protected the murderers. Your government is protecting murderers. And it is in question to this day, the execution of that demonically influenced psychopath murderer that inflicted one of the most horrific murders in American history on someone, a torture murder, has been and is to this day getting protected by your Tennessee government. No one will kill her. They won't let you. They probably may not do it themselves to retain a little bit of legitimacy. They're protecting her from judgment. That's the government flipped on its head. They're supposed to execute her. They should have done that years ago. Years ago. The brutal murder that it was, what's there to talk about? Witnesses on the scene that traded their life for testimony. Jesus is the answer. I like that. On the back of that truck, that's true. And the government that, according to John MacArthur and me, is more dangerous than the murderers that they're going to try to execute tomorrow and September 30th. They're protecting these murderers. A lot of times, they commit these heinous acts against humanity, against you, make people suffer brutal deaths, painful. I mean, it's not a pleasant, easy death. It's for almost an hour, and maybe an hour, someone's suffering. And we're talking about two different ones. The one for tomorrow was a lady that worked at a hotel maid, cleaning rooms, not a dignified, highfalutin job, did what she had to do, working. The government didn't protect her. And that was then, that's done. And now, years later, her murderer, over 30 years later, may, possibility, not for sure, pay for his crimes. And a lot of times these people, after years and years, die in a hospital with nurses surrounding them, taking care of them, giving them water and an aspirin to make their death as pleasantly as possible, dying not of justice and judgment that your government is supposed to dish out carrying the sword. They die in a hospital with your tax money because they haven't worked all their life, with people taking care of them, peaceful deaths in a hospital while they have murderously, insidiously tortured and murdered people, and they die peacefully in a hospital. And the government carries a sword. Oh, here's a little dog. Somebody's put their little dog out. Wow, that's sad. While they die peaceful in a hospital, protected by the government. Now, you shouldn't, but if a vigilante like them, and they've already committed the murder, and they're not vigilantes, they're just a murderer. But if somebody was a vigilante murderer, and that's a murder too, don't do that, wanted to take vengeance for a reason, they killed one of their family members, and I can understand that. Somebody killed one of my family members, I wouldn't, but I'd want to kill them. That's reasonable. There's a lot of jury nullification where somebody takes vengeance on somebody that's killed their family, and juries, even though they've done it, say not guilty. It's called jury nullification. They understand they're not going to convict somebody of murder that has lost their mind and retaliated because of grief, because the person they're murdering has killed one of their family members. It is vigilantism, but a lot of people understand that. Now, I don't do that. God is the ultimate arbitrator, and on this earth, the enemy of the people, the Tennessee government, is supposed to administer judgment, but they don't. They won't. They can't. That's the most dangerous person, is people in government power. Now, you think these murders they killed one person. The government causes a lot of people to lose their lives by the corrupt things that they do. They're more dangerous than these murderers. The suffering and pain that your Tennessee government causes, more dangerous than those. So, about an hour, Miss Slimmer suffered, tried to get away, and the perpetrator beat on her and even took a souvenir, a trophy from her head, and took it with her to a victory that she had brutally murdered. Proud of her murder. She's been alive over 30 years on death row. If you try to get to her, they'll kill you. They'll stop you. If she gets sick, she'll go to the hospital. While she was murdering that lady, she stabbed her. She needed to go get stitches. She didn't get to go to the hospital. She argued yesterday in court, and this is the senselessness and the stupidity and the violence of your government. This is an act of violence against you by your government. Allowed her to argue in court yesterday that executing her because of her alleged physical ailments would be cruel and unusual punishment, and your tax dollars paid to keep a courthouse door open to listen to that garbage, and you paid for a murderer And your government's dangerous as hell. Dangerous as hell. That's what you paid for. You're paying your government and these judges to sit around and argue that we don't want her to suffer during her death, giving her time to make those frivolous arguments for over 30 years, saying that she might suffer a little bit before she dies in a safe and secure and painless environment as humanly possible. Although the best execution method is the firing squad, and she was allowed to do that while she had somebody trying to escape her murdering them, stabbing them. Her ultimate demise, according to the coroner, numerous stab wounds, blood all over the place, an hour long, jealous rage, and her ultimate demise of the victim was a rock that they busted her skull. And then they commenced to cutting a piece of it out as a souvenir of their evil. They were devil worshippers. And the government is protecting devil worshippers. And the Christian governor allows that to go on. Your court system's allowed that to go on for over 30 years. So there's no justice in this state. That is completely absurd. If someone kills, and you think about it, someone brutally murders one of your family members, the person that killed them will have this little game played for 30-something years and be protected more than the person, more than your family member that was brutally murdered. That's your government. So you tell me, does it make any sense that I say that the murder of these people was less dangerous than your government? The most dangerous threat to Tennessee, to America, is people in power in your government. They're the ones dangerous. I'm not the only one saying that. John MacArthur said that. Look it up. A famous Bible-believing Christian, Jesus Christ repenting, preaching pastor that's completely sane and reasonable, pointing out the unreasonableness of people in power in your government. They're not putting these flock cameras out to quickly arrest, prosecute, and execute murderers. They're putting these flock cameras out, the control that they have over you, to prosecute you innocent. Don't be deceived. It's to go after you. They will protect the guilty perpetrators for over 30 years now. How else can you explain it? There's no need for these endless appeals, and they're designed, demonic influence, to keep these people alive in a controlled environment where they get trustee status, get a job, get paid money, get commissary, get protected. They're probably safer in a prison than they would be out in the public because somebody would kill them. And even while they're in prison, the murderer of Miss Slimmer tried to kill somebody else in prison. So the government's protecting her so she can try to commit other murders while she's in jail. She was in court just yesterday. It's on the news, all over the news. They're showing you how the government works. The fact that she's living, breathing air, I'll tell you, no, it don't. That should have happened years ago. Why doesn't it? Because the government's a danger to you. They're not helpful. They're not prosecuting, carrying the sword, punishing crime. They're rewarding crime. 3 hots in a cot, head trustee status. You can even try to kill somebody else. What difference does it make if you're on death row? What difference does it make? They're going to kill you. They're not going to kill you the first time. You think their bluff is going to make any difference the second time? Your government's not working. It's very dangerous to you. I'm not saying murder anybody or go overthrow the courthouse. They have no reason to try to hurt me. I'm telling you the truth. What they're trying to say about me is to kill me, incarcerate me, beat me up, and demoralize me. Well, let me tell you what, I stand for truth and justice and executing carrying the sword of guilty people. I've had that experience in my life in a realistic way. And so I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I've carried the sword before and they demonize me. But God will bless me for that. I haven't done anything wrong. I've done what's right. They can't handle right behind a Christian banner. The dirty governor. Boy, ain't he got you fooled. He ain't got me fooled. I pray for the truth and real revelation to come out about the alleged Christian man, Bill Lee. He's a creep. He's a thug. He's a transvestite. Hangs the Christian banner high while his jails are filled with murderers that should have been executed years and years ago, while he fails to exonerate people convicted that are innocent and backs up his rich billionaire buddy. Now, I don't know his heart from his life. I would say that man's on his way to hell. He'll bust hell wide open. Enjoy your life, Bill Lee. And somebody can call him, tell him I said that. I'm not afraid of him. He's afraid of me. That's why he'd like to hurt me. His party incarcerated me, lied on me. The Republican Party put a political candidate in jail. And then they talk about how Donald Trump was treated. Well, you got the little Democratic disease in your Republican Party, don't you? You bunch of dirty hypocrites, Democrats, Republicans. And they just made it worse. You know what a fighter does when you squeal? If you're fighting somebody legitimately, and I'm not talking about violence, I'm talking about political messaging. You're fighting somebody and they're trying to hurt you, demoralize you, and hurting society, and you're just standing up for society, what's right, which is what I was doing. I protected more people than anybody in the state of Tennessee. I know they're a lie. And excuse me if I may please, I beg you, I disagree with him. I don't beg anybody. I carried the sword. You ought to be afraid. Not because I'm going to do anything violent. God works in mysterious ways. Assholes. I mean, stupid assholes. Excuse my language. My goodness. Call me a coward. I'm after people. Don't call me a coward. I'll meet you before you get to me. Governor Bill Lee, you think this is over? You're stepping out of office. You're on a God's hit list way after you leave office. There may be some bad stuff happening to you. I'm not asking people to do anything bad to you. I'm talking about your life is going to get you, you dirtbag, pathetic, holding a Christian banner, pathetic piece of dirt. I mean, wow. And we're afraid of these people. Some people, I'm not a bit afraid of them. If you want to hear somebody tell the truth about these people, you think, oh my goodness, these are Christian people. You say bad stuff about them, you'll go to hell. No. If you defy the Lord Jesus Christ and God Almighty, you go to hell. If you defy creep, transvestite governor, you're not going to hell. You may get a reward when you get to heaven for defying evil. Governor Bill Lee is evil. He's an evil person. I don't know his heart, but he does evil stuff. He's a very evil man. He's a creep. He's a thug. Hey, Governor Bill Lee, people in Australia, Canada, all over the world are listening to me talk about your nasty, about how dirty you are. He don't like me saying that. He don't like me saying it's the truth. It's for your protection. Christian pastor said, the most dangerous people to America, to Tennesseans, is Governor Bill Lee. And the next Republican governor that steps on the stage that's going to lie to you in the state of Tennessee and keep people that murder you alive and well for years and years and years to come. The sword that they carry is for you, not for evil. Protecting demonically, demon-worshiping people that are proud of seditious, torturous murder alive today. The fact they had her on television just yesterday, trying to fight execution, trying to run away like the person she murdered, saying it'll hurt me if you kill me. She didn't care. She hurt Miss Slimmer. And there's victims. Her mother, Carlene Slimmer's mother, cannot have a proper burial for her daughter that was murdered, and I'll say her name now, it's not important, a demon worshiper, pathetic piece of dirt, Krista Gale Pike, a brutal murderer that's getting a hearing in court. Now she's begging for her life. Should have been taken years ago by the government that should carry a sword. It doesn't. It doesn't. Brutal murder here in Knoxville. One of the most brutal murders in the history of the United States. Wide open out in public. A torturous murder. Still on death row in Tennessee. That's a symbol of your Tennessee injustice creep system by judges. Now, it's bad enough what Krista Gale Pike did. What's even worse is what your government's doing to you, allowing that to continue. It's wicked as hell. Let's see if we can get across the road here. That's wicked as hell. Almost 300 people in here. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. You won't hear this anywhere else. And contribute if you can. This is a war of messaging. Help me get the message out. So contribute if you can. We got some new technology tomorrow that we're going to use today. We'll get to the bridge. Got some notes to go over. We'll talk to you about how the government lies about how they commit crimes. And they use their crimes to convict you while you're innocent. I'm not talking about hyperbole or made up stuff. We're talking about facts where people in government power lie under oath. Well, they stand up and say, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Government actors. This isn't just civilians, this is people in the government. Government officers. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. And then they lie to perpetrate a civil offense or even a criminal offense against you. And the courts use that as evidence against you. Use a crime to put the weight of law on the lie and hold that out to be true. While the government criminal, the government judge, is also committing a crime by allowing perjury. This is what these Tennessee judges will do. Protected by hundreds of deputies right here in Knoxville. We're going to lie and you're going to like it. We got a gun. Yeah, we got one too. So there's the dirty THPP going down the road. They will arrest you drunk. While they're drunk, they'll arrest you and accuse you of drunk driving. That's not made up. The greatest threat to Tennessee, the greatest threat to America, is the government. It's the government, people in government power. They're liars and fraudsters and criminals, protecting murderers for over 30 years in a jail cell. Right now, you can't get to them. You couldn't get to these judges. I'm not saying you should. If you wanted to, you got hundreds of deputy sheriffs protecting judges while they lie, commit crimes. The crimes they've written down, one of them, there's a TCA code. They're supposed to, under Tennessee law, put out a ruling within 60 days of the hearing. They lie and violate, they lie and violate that law. The judge violates the law. He's under the law. They made the law. They'll bet when they want to and then don't when they don't. They have to put out a ruling in civil forfeiture cases and civil cases, administrative cases. They have to put out that ruling in 60 days. If they don't put it out in 60 days, they violated the law and went past the TCA code. You know, it's like running a stop sign. You drive through a stop sign. Hey, there's a TCA code and a city ordinance that says you can't drive past the stop sign. You have to stop. It's for public safety. So you don't run a stop sign and slam into somebody who has the right of way. You don't have the right of way. You got to stop and wait till it's clear. It's a public safety law. Well, they got laws that are supposed to protect your public safety. One of them is they're supposed to put out a ruling within 60 days after the hearing. So welcome. Come on in. Charles Van Morgan Show. Like, share, comment. Thank you for the This dude is a useful idiot. And okay, and we'll deal with that. I'm a useful idiot. I'm smarter than you because you're listening to a useful idiot. So what does that make you? Maybe I'm not an idiot. You just don't like the message. You just don't like the message. So you're an idiot if you think I'm an idiot because you're listening to me, because I ain't listening to you, because I'm not going to be quiet. And I hope and pray that you suffer for your stupidity. So, almost 300 people. Everybody that's on here, hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. Help the algorithm. So, and we'll show you, written down black and white, a judge in Tennessee, in one of the judges over administrative hearings. This is going on in Knoxville right now. One of the judges that's responsible for adjudicating fairly over property seizures. If the state of Tennessee seizes your property and you contest it, so you didn't have a right to take my property, and it includes everything, anytime, eminent domain, all kinds of stuff. If they seize your property, alleging that you're using it for the proceeds of drug sales, so the state of Tennessee has a legal right to take it. You have a second offense DUI, they can take your car so that you can't. And if you say, well, I've never been convicted, they took my car, you got a right to appeal that decision. You got a right to have a hearing before a judge to contest the seizure of your property. Now that's important because they can take your property. So you need a honest judge that obeys the law, or otherwise the judge can say, we get your property, I don't care what you got to say, and rule on it anytime he wants to, and allow perjury. And that's also important, are accused of using the proceeds of alleged lawfully seized money, lawfully allowed to be seized by dirty Tennessee judges. They're using the proceeds of the administrative hearings to buy themselves commodes, buy themselves duck blinds, to remodel their cars, their fancy cars that you don't have. They're alleged to have done that off the proceeds of money that they've taken from you, where a judge, that I'm saying is dirty judges, there we go, there's another plant. Well, while a dirty judge has adjudicated that you did wrong and the state deserves your money, while they put out rulings in violation of the law. So you haven't violated any law in a lot of cases. And the state shouldn't get your money, but their set-up judge is to get mad at 100 deputies. We'll blow your head off. We're going to take your damn car. You shut up and sit down. You want to die? And all the way in the corner over there is Christabel Pike, who's really murdered somebody, been on death row for 30 years, and she's protected by these deputies that are wanting to take your property at gunpoint. That's your government at work, real live, what they do every day. Now, they don't tell you that. They frame it like we're trying to put Christabel Pike to death under a Christian government. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's protecting himself and his family, his billfold, and he's protecting the legacy of Bill Haslam, the great high God in the world that has his name all over the public university that's teaching children, our young students, how to rob people out of their money by his business enterprise, where he's got rich off defrauding people, but he'll never go to jail, because if you ever try to commit a crime against him, you'll have those 100 deputies running over there protecting their liar, their creep, their thug. The biggest threat to Tennessee, the biggest threat to America is your government. How can I explain it to you any clearer? I'm going to keep on. Some people wouldn't get it if some deputy knocked them in the head while they was walking out down the sidewalk telling them thank you for your service. They'll still hit you. Flying right don't matter to these people. Just the other day, I was in Chattanooga. I'm on the ballot running, and I thanked the deputy for his service. He went on to tell me what he thought about me, and he thought I'd take it. I don't take it. I'm not taking it from you people. I got a right to self-defense, and I'm going to exercise that right. That's not aggressive going after them. That's when they come after me and try to take my life. Then let's get this thing done. You want to make me a martyr? Go right ahead. The public will see. And maybe people will wake up. They would love to make me a martyr. There's people in government in uniform, several times officers all across the state of Tennessee, that are guarding Christy Gale Pike from execution, guarding her, making sure nobody hurts her. I'm out here speaking against that, saying she should have been executed years ago. Your government is inept. They're crooked, protecting a devil worshiper and their entourage, a brutal murder that happened in Knoxville. You get killed in that way, don't expect no justice for your family. For years and years, Miss Slimmer's mother's wanting her executed. She's been asking them to have Christy Gale Pike executed for 30 years, but she'll be sitting over there in the corner protected while they're telling you, we're going to take your property. We're going to take it no matter what you say. And use perjury to facilitate that. Happens almost on a daily basis in the Tennessee courtroom. And you say, why do the deputies do that? Do they have no conscience? Most of them don't. They really don't. They hire these people that want to kill you. They want to kill you. They want you dead. That's the kind of people they hire. So, the judge will violate the law, accept fraud and perjury to convict you of a crime that you didn't commit. And let's see if we can get across this road. We'll get to our signature location. Hold on with me. I got some new technology I'm going to use. Go paperless to a large extent, and the government will take your money and property. This guy's wondering what I'm doing. Ain't you ever seen anybody broadcast live, get a message out? Yeah, they light's green. So see if we can get across the street safely. So they will take your property under threat of getting shot by deputies in the courtroom. And I've seen that happen. Violate your constitutional rights and threaten you for trying to have an honest court hearing that you won't get in state Tennessee. And they're doing that a lot by seizing your property. Dirty judges seizing your property, taking it from you without lawful right, not giving you a fair hearing. And why do these deputies do it? And why do these troopers do that? Officers all across the state? Because they get promoted, and this is important now, they get promoted for lying for former Governor Bill Hasbin. They get promoted for lying for him. They don't get fired and prosecuted for perjury, for taking your property unjustifiably. You have a house and car you like that you bought and paid for. So here's one of the angels, these emergency personnel. They are angels when you need them. And they're the ones that are going to come and try to save your life when somebody tries to murder you, maybe a government official. Now they took me to the ambulance when the government beat me up for trying to win an election, tell people the truth, exercise my First Amendment rights. You exercise your First Amendment rights, you'll end up in the back of an ambulance. If you're speaking against them lawfully and legally, you'll end up, I have. They think my mugshot, you type my name in Google, my mugshot comes up. You know, there's a lot of people that are proud of a mugshot. When you get persecuted for doing right, My Christianity says praise God for that. That's a good thing. The things they think are bad are good. I got persecuted for standing up for Tennesseans. If you don't think I'll stand up for you, look at my mug shot. Got put in jail for Tennesseans. For standing up for what's right. What's funny about it, as you look at the beautiful view, I'll tell you what's funny about it. Here's what's funny about it. They thought that would shut me up. They just made it louder, amplified it. Got me statewide attention for speaking the truth. I'm not afraid of them. That's what they can't handle. They don't understand that. This man's not afraid of us. Charles Van Morgan, I learned those lessons growing up with a dad by myself. Hi, Bills Lee. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I pray every day that you'll pay for the crimes that you committed against Tennesseans, Bill Lee. And I know you think that you're right. I can measure up the things that you claim. You're the one who holds up the Bible with what it says in God's holy word. You even promote abortion. Your lying governor that's supposed to be Republican promotes abortion. Of course, they cover that up. He's not for what's right. He's for government power, for him and his buddies. He's a thug. He's a loser. He's a transvestite. He ought to be in jail. And I pray about him. God's the judge, not me. I can just tell you what I think and see. The message God sent me here for. God will judge. I'm not going to take vengeance on him. I'm going to speak out against him. The funny thing about it is they think I'm ashamed of being arrested. I would be if I committed a crime. And people say I have. I didn't commit a crime. I was following the rules. I got on the ballot, got the signatures, following the rules, holding up a sign with my name on it. Hey, vote for me. I'm against a lot of things that Governor Bill Lee's for. Vote for me. And they arrest me for that, for standing up for Tennesseans. I'm proud of that Bill Lee. He'll never have a mugshot. He's a god. He's to be worshipped. He thinks he's to be worshipped. He thinks he's better than everybody. Lord knows he treats himself better than everybody. While he's starving the poor and the needy and the sick and afflicted and running over little children in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'd be very careful, Bill Lee. When you're in power, you're held accountable under God. That's a phenomenon in the Bible. You know, if I was you, I'd be on my knees asking for forgiveness and correcting the evil that I done. And one little damn thing you can do is try to execute people effectively. He can't even execute people. He's so damn inept. So these deputies and these officers lie under oath and take your property illegitimately, and we'll show you their testimony where they swore to tell the truth, because they get promoted for it. They get lifted up a higher position for committing crimes for the government. Your government criminal syndicates, what they are. They're a criminal syndicate. They're wicked as hell. You look at criminal syndicates that sell drugs or that conspire to have gambling enterprises that aren't lawful, and all your criminal syndicates that are dangerous, that violate the law, that violate public safety. They're not as dangerous as the government that in a lot of cases protects them and benefits from crime. Your government is more dangerous than any other criminal syndicate. Right there from that courthouse, a criminal syndicate. You look at what goes on, you say, well, I'm not afraid, I'll get a lawyer. That's so funny to me. You'll get a lawyer. I'll get a lawyer, they'll fight for me. That's so funny. I know these Knoxville lawyers. They're part of a criminal syndicate. You'll get one of them to protect you against them. That's so funny. The Knoxville bar is a hellhole. Well, they'll strap you up worse than you was. You do better not calling one of them for the most part. Now, there are one or two good attorneys. For the most part, the Knoxville bar is part of a criminal syndicate. Yeah, I said that Knoxville bar. I've had experiences with them. The judge here, Judge Don Ass, that's trying these deputies for stealing your property in this fake property seizure that's supposed to be by a legitimate Tennessee judge that adjudicates according to the Constitution that lies. I'll show you a Tennessee judge lying. I've met him, I know him. He's overturned sheriff elections where the sheriff was duly elected. Judge Don Ash said, no, you get the sheriff I'll pick for you that'll worship us. That's what they do. So if you think, and somebody on here say, I'll just get a lawyer. If I'm not guilty, I'll get a Knoxville lawyer. Hey, while you're in jail, you remember what I said. The Knoxville bar protects itself. They're crooked as hell. I don't know about other states. I'm sure a lot of them are. Knoxville bar is crooked. A lot of them criminals. They lie. They lie in court documents. You get one of them to hire you, you're paying for them to argue for the government to put your ass in jail. Is for the most part what you're doing. Now there's one or two good attorneys. For the most part, the Knoxville bar is a hellhole. They're a bunch of liars. They're dirty, nasty, disgusting people that after they're disgusting for the government while they're taking your money to represent you, end up becoming judges after they protect judges and criminals. So they get rich while taking your money. They're double agents. They're for the government. They're not for you. So you hire a Knoxville lawyer. What a joke they are. I know them. I know them personally. I've met them. I've heard what they say. I've seen what they do for years. They're crooks and criminals. Wow, almost 300 people on here. Like, share, comment. Let's get the word out against these people. We're just telling you facts. You won't hear this anywhere else. People are afraid to. I'm not afraid of these people. What do you do with bullies? You punch them in the damn face. You fight them. You don't kowtow to cowards. So the Knoxville bar protects itself. When I was a trooper, that's one of the reasons why I'm out here. The Knoxville bar is one of the reasons. I'm honest, they're dishonest, they have their law license. I'm honest and I don't. The Knoxville bar. You heard me tell one of them to their face the other day. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Disgusting people, they are. They won't defend you. They will facilitate, negotiate you while you're innocent. They want to negotiate your guilty plea. They're double agents. I'm not making that up. I didn't come up with that. If you think, well, he's speaking a bunch of hogwash, you look at any sociology book, and criminology will tell you a leading thinking in sociology is attorneys are double agents. You think they're on your side, they're on Russia's side. So if you think, it's funny, you're going to get a lawyer, you'll get out of that. Don't listen to Charles Van Morgan. I'll get a lawyer if I'm innocent. The system works. It works so well. You got a seditious, brutal murderer that perpetrated her crime over the course of about an hour that was alive and well on news yesterday. The system works. While her mother, the victim of a crime, is pleading to have a proper funeral for her daughter. She can't have a proper funeral because the skull that the sick woman took is still in evidence, so she can't even bury all of her daughter until the execution is completed, and then they can get rid of the evidence, give it to her mother who can properly bury her daughter. That's how sick the system is. If you think you're going to get an Knoxville lawyer and get out of the crime, let me tell you something about the Knoxville bar. Part of the reason why I'm out here. And that's okay, I'm fine. They just unleashed a hailstorm against them because I fight. That's what I do. I was fighting for your safety on the road. They just switched the target on them. They want to be wicked. We'll show them the business. I fight. That's what I do. That's what I'll do until the day I die. That's the gift that I have. I won't give up. It's relentless attack on falsehoods. God's behind the truth. He's behind me. God backs up the truth. Doesn't back up Bill Lee, the dirty liar. I'd be shaking him off there. So, the Knoxville bar. Let's talk about the Knoxville bar. here. I was down at the commissioner's office signing a warrant against somebody that was a danger to themselves and others. In a drunk driving charge. And that person was right here. We went outside because the judicial commissioner had to smoke. So he was walking outside with me. I heard a loud noise and it was a car. And they turned right here on this road here going down Main Street, right here in Knoxville after I got out of the commissioner's office. About 3 o'clock in the morning. And there was a car going down the road on a flat tire. I heard the thump and the loud noise, so I jumped in my car, and the commissioner seen it. I asked him later, can you sign the warrant? You're a witness to the crime. He said he could and did. So I got behind the car pulled over right here on Main Street, right in front of the courthouse. A drunk woman, extremely drunk, driving on a flat tire. She had hit a curb drunk and flattened her tire. And I turned on blue lights and she stopped for a second and then she took off down Gay Street. Went across the Gay Street Bridge and she finally pulled over. The car became inoperable because of the flat tire over here in front of the Baptist Hospital right on Westmoreland Avenue. Drunk person. Couldn't even get out of the courthouse from signing a warrant for a drunk driver protecting society, and another one going right down the road here. The problem with this arrest wasn't that it was somebody drunk. The problem was it was a daughter of one of the members of the illustrious Knoxville Bar. I mean, these God-fearing, law-abiding citizens of Knoxville. How many people in here trust lawyers? If you do, you're a damn fool. They have a bad name for a reason. They commit crimes and get away with it. Nobody trusts lawyers because they're not trustable, especially the Knoxville Bar. One of them is in politics on a news show every day. Don Bosch, the illustrious Don Bosch, little fat boy sitting there. Yeah, his office is right over here. Hey, Don, sue me. I ain't got anything. The Knoxville Bar took everything I had, you fat boy. You're a TV star. Stand up for the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. Talking about Christian values are dangerous. No, you're dangerous, Don bitch, Bosch. You fat boy. I'm out here, boy. Come and get me. Don Bosch, Channel 10 elevates him. He's the spokesman for the Democratic Party. Wow. How you doing, Don? You big old fat boy, ain't you? Where'd you get them hair plugs at? You know, you look sick and pathetic sitting there in that chair talking about Christian values are scary to you. I pray about you, boy. You're a disgusting, pathetic piece of shit. A good example of the Knoxville Bar. That's his office right down here. Don Bosch. On Channel 10 talking about politics. Talks about Christian values like they're nothing. Well, you're not going to intimidate me out of Christian values. I still have them. And you're on your way to hell, boy, if you think the way you do, I believe. And I got a law degree just like you. I'm not a good enough liar for the government, though, am I? So one of the Knoxville Bar, his daughter was dangerous drunk driving on a flat tire, refused to stop, felony evading in a car. Finally, her car becomes disabled, so I arrest her. This is a illustrious Knoxville Bar, the one that Don Bosch is a member of. They're law-abiding citizens. No, they're not. They're creeps. And I arrested her just like I would somebody that got a car from the homeless shelter. Justice is blind. You commit the crime, doesn't matter who you are. You believe that? I thought that to be the case. God showed me the business. No, it's not. That's not the case. I arrested the lady, put her in jail. I didn't even know that her daddy was a member of the Knoxville Bar. He comes back in the back hallway of the city county building right over here and threatens me. You arrested my daughter trying to get to me. Other lawyers had to hold him back. I went, come on, boy, get to me. You don't like what you catch, boy. You pathetic little weasel. Your daughter was wrong. Stand up and face it. They won't face wrong. They're above the law. One of them's going 90 down the interstate. Stopped him for speeding. I'm a lawyer here. Sign on the bottom. That's justice for all. They won't let you do that. No, you can't do that. We're above the law. We're the Knoxville Dirty Bar. You bunch of creeps and thugs. I wouldn't believe a damn word they said. Hire one of them to help you through the system to plead guilty so they can take your money and you can sit in a jail cell. That's what most of the Knoxville Bar is for. They're thugs. I'm proud I'm not a member of the Knoxville Illustrious Criminal Syndicate Double Agent Bar. Right out of a textbook from sociology. They're double agents. They're for the government against you. So, he comes back in the back hallway, threatens me. He's lucky that he had other lawyers protecting his life, because if he had got to me, I would have been forced, as bad as I hated to use reasonable force that would have caused him to wake up about 3 weeks later not knowing what the hell hit him. I'm not a toy. Now, they think I am. You look at the evidence. People that mess with me haven't fared very well. I mean, God's hand's upon me because I prayed for God's hand to protect me. It is real. It works. Trust me, I'm still here. Still fighting these bastards. They can't hit me enough. They can't beat me enough. They can't waterboard me enough to make me afraid. That's what I do. Pretty damn good at it. I've carried the sword effectively. They call me a coward because I carried the sword. Proud of doing what I did. Did it for you. Have that weight on me for you. I'll keep doing it. Some of these members of the Knoxville Bar need to have that sword carried against their dumb asses. They're rogue and crooked. I'm trying to carry it. Listen to me, Tennesseans. Not just me saying it. Sociology, education, life experience. John MacArthur, a well-respected Christian pastor that preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, said it clearly. Now, I use a little foul language, unlike him. I'm not in the church. I'm speaking real South Knoxville language from a real fighter that's real effective. These people are dirty. They're lawless. They're dangerous to you. The most dangerous people in America. The most dangerous to America. The most dangerous to Tennessee are people in government power. It's your government. It's your government. It's not the economy, stupid. That's what Bill Clinton ran. It's the economy, stupid. It's your government, stupid. And most people aren't stupid, I hope. If you don't believe me, you're stupid. It's your government. It's not very hard to figure out. I'm just explaining to you. Well, explicate this. I'll tell you how dirty they are. They're taking your property and using it to build their commodes. That's what they think of you. Judges have taken your money for years under the threat of a gun, unlawfully allowing perjury and criminal offenses against you. It's your government, stupid. And most of you aren't stupid. Most of you aren't stupid. A lot of you are. Your Knoxville Bar is a bunch of creeps and criminals. They're thugs. Don Bosch is out in politics telling you that Christian values are dangerous to you. No, the Knoxville Bar is dangerous to you. We'll go at it, Don Bosch. People listen to me in other countries. Who do you trust more? Lawyers or somebody that's not in the legal profession, that knows the law past the bar, that the legal profession thinks isn't honest? Who's more honest? Overwhelmingly, there might be a few idiots on here, overwhelmingly, people don't trust you. There's a reason for that, because you're not trustworthy. Christian values aren't to be feared. You're to be called out for the disgusting liar you are. You're hell-bound. That's what I think. Change your disgusting ways. So, like, share, comment. So, 19-year-old Carlene Slender was murdered on the Job Corps campus by Krista Gale Pike, who's been on death row for 31 years, 7 months. A murder, brutal murder. She's arguing today that her execution in the most civilized way you could do it. Boy, I smell the marijuana. Is cruel and unusual punishment. When she brutally murdered somebody, tortured them for about an hour with them trying to leave. Her execution is scheduled for 49 days away from now. She was arguing yesterday that she shouldn't be executed. The brutal murder was driven by intense jealousy over her boyfriend. 30 to 60 minutes. Beating, kicking, slashing, stabbing Slinner. Repeatedly, she tried to escape. Wow. Christy Gale Pike sitting in a comfortable environment, paid by your tax dollars, arguing that you're being too mean to her. And Governor Bill Lee has kept her alive and well. Most dangerous to you is your government, is your Knoxville bar. They say this about the Knoxville bar. One dirty attorney. And I'm not telling you not to hire a lawyer. Hire a good one. There are some not good Knoxville lawyers. Right, just a few blocks from here, your Knoxville bar is one of the most crooked lawyers. I'd go get one out of state or from another area. Knoxville bar is dirty as hell. So, one of them right down here in the office, right down here, is on TikTok. Oh, he's a TikTok star. I took him rides to the hospital doing my taxi business because that's the only job I could get because of the dirty Knoxville bar. Bought a brand new house on the river, a gated environment. He needs one. Take him and his family to the airport. I got a family too. I'm much braver than you. I speak the truth. He's about money. Has his little meetings where he gets drunk on the job. He's a drunk. Doesn't even tip. I mean, all that money he's proud of doesn't even tip public service workers. And his daughter goes to Lincoln Memorial Duncan School of Law, but she doesn't pay the full tuition like I had to do, like they robbed me out of. She gets a discount because her daddy's a member of the Knoxville bar. It's about politics. Try to go to that school, get a law degree, work yourself up by the bootstraps, and they make you pay full price and then some, then get rid of you where you can't even practice law, try to defame you. By Duncan Memorial School of Law, that dirty trash school. Go there at your own risk. They'll take your money and then make sure that you can't pay them back because taxpayers will. So, they used a box cutter, a large chunk of asphalt, took a trophy skull fragment, and she has been on death row awaiting execution 30 years. May Martinez, her mother of Carleen Slimmer, the mother of Carleen Slimmer, who's brutally murdered right here in Knoxville, for 30 years has demanded execution. Demanded it from Bill Hasbin. He was in office 8 years. Justice for my daughter in Hasbin's jail. He didn't hurt none of Hasbin. Hasbin don't care as long as it don't hurt him. Well, Hasbin, this is your warning. Worldwide, I ain't going away, Hasbin. I'm out here. I'm not violent to you. You'll be violent to me. He won't have somebody try to offer me. He'll pay somebody. That's how dirty and deceitful he is. A crook. So this lady has been asking for execution of Christy Gale Pike for 30 years. How many governors have been through the governor's mansion? Well, they live high on the hog. Well, Mary Martinez's daughter was brutally murdered for an hour, tortured and murdered, violently killed with a trophy for the murder under all these governors, Republicans, Democrats, been through Democrat governors. They get executed. They can enact laws to speed up the system to a fair decency, but they don't do it. They're crooked as hell. 30 years, Mary Martinez has demanded that her daughter get justice, that she get the rest of her daughter's skull back so she can do a proper burial, falling on deaf ears of your governors, because they're more dangerous to society, to Tennessee, to America than Christy Gale Pike is. Living in a hospital, living in a jail, 3 hots in a cot, status of a custodian, even tried to kill somebody else while she was in jail. 31 years, and still alive, even though the victim of that ruthless crime is still allowed to beg for mercy. And wicked as hell. Wicked as hell. And the other name you need to remember, Catherine Jean Jenkins. Now this is important. This is a day that I pray for. I pray for justice and judgment on people. I'm a fighter. I pray for justice and judgment. What's your call? What's your forte? What's God put you here for? I'm here to argue for justice and judgment. Catherine Jean Jenkins, murdered in Tennessee years ago in 1986. Catherine Jean Jenkins, the victim of this heinous crime. Anthony Darrell Hines is supposed to be executed. He murdered her years ago, stabbed her to death. He's supposed to be executed tomorrow at 11 a.m. Knoxville time. Now they tried to execute Crothers about 3 or 4 months ago, couldn't get it done, so we don't even know if they can get this done. But those people have been victims, the family has been victims of this crime, waiting on execution of him since 1986. He stabbed her, killed her. She was a maid at a hotel, working, one of the lowest jobs you can get, working, honest, not a lawyer, remember the Knoxville bar, working, an honest job, trying to make a living for her and her family. Catherine Jean Jenkins. Anthony Darrell Hines, not as dangerous as the government, has been protected by the government since 1986. I'll be watching 11 a.m. tomorrow news to see if he's executed. We may go out there to, as members of the media, not the fake media, unbridled news, to see what the state has to say. Hopefully they won't botch this execution. He murdered her for money, brutally stabbed a hotel maid years ago. So let's talk about invisible evidence. This is how Tennessee government helped destroy my career. And it's not about my career. This is about what they will do to you. Imagine if they do this to a trooper on the road saving lives, what they'll do to you. An alleged conversation with no recording, no transcript, no written statement. Under oath, this is Sergeant Johnson at my disciplinary hearing for doing right, carrying the sword, protecting you all. 2013, listen to what he claimed. His story, Johnson testified under oath. He stood up and said, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Administrative law judge, the same judges that take your property that's now allegedly being stolen by sheriff deputies. I believe that happens all across the state. They steal your money by judge lies, allow them to take your money illegitimately, like they took my job illegitimately while I was out carrying the sword. I got things done legitimately, lawfully, legally. If I didn't, why didn't they charge me with a crime? Because I would have been able to talk to a jury instead of just going through a road crooked judge. That's why. That gives you a little padding, although sometimes juries can get it wrong. because they got good, well-paid prosecutors, members of the dirty Knoxville bar. So, I'm just telling you evidence what they do. They do this all the time. Johnson testified, Sergeant Johnson, that we watch the wreck video, the one you've seen, all over the internet. Look at it. It's my evidence against them. They think it's evidence against me. The news channel draws a circle of the car in the dark that you can't pick out on your own. Let's say draw a circle and point to it, and they think that I should have saw it in a high-speed pursuit after dark. They lie. They'll lie on you. If they're lying on the #1 trooper in the whole state that saves more lives than anybody, and I'll tell you why they do that, then you don't think they'll lie on you? A judge that committed other crimes and not just lying on you. The same judges that take your property unlawfully. They got guns. Your property's going with us. Shut up. Literally. So, Johnson testified that we watched the wreck, and I admitted that the car was on fire when I passed it. That's what Johnson said. Sergeant Johnson, under oath, testified in front of a row judge, Judge Randall Lefevre, while they're taking my job, while they're taking your property. And this can be proven. This ain't high science. This is easy stuff. Right. Talking about dirty Tennessee judges. How dirty they are. So, Johnson.
You got to put the dirt on them. Some of Afghanistan, the whole
got all kinds of. So, Johnson testified when I went out there to Nashville, 2013. The hearing was in 2013. The interrogation that tried to get me to tell a lie that I didn't do, they still don't like me because I ain't upholding their lie. In 2011, November the 9th, they called me out there, and he claims I walked in the building, and these are people that are taking your property, and then they're using the property that they take from you to buy commodes for themselves. Judge Don Ash is presiding over that case 10 years after the fact. But this is what they'll do to you. Same judges, administrative law judges, crooked as hell. So he said, I walked into the interrogation after a pursuit where a man killed himself. I drove by the pursuit because it was off the road, didn't see it, no one would have. It was off the road in the dark. I didn't see it, identified as a wreck. Easily understand. Why would a trooper in pursuit of somebody trying to find them see them and then keep going so they can get in trouble, and if they stop they don't get in trouble? So why would a trooper with a Master of Arts in Criminology, with a Doctor of Jurisprudence, or excuse me, not that time, with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, led the whole state in arresting people, finding them, arresting them, had previously gotten people out of cars that were on fire that were easily visible? Why would they see a car and do something of getting in trouble when all they had to do was stop? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, did I get a prize for driving by? That doesn't make any sense what they're trying to do. Why would a trooper drive past a wreck that's off the road in the dark? Because he didn't see it. That's easy. That's not high science. See how they flip things? You know, go through all these little curves to get you where you want to hang out a trooper and their family. My boys, my family. People in government power, you think I'm gonna let that go? I pray to God every night. And the governor, Bill Lee, we'll uncover injustice wherever we find it. You're injustice. Got it written all over your face. I'm after you. Except for I'm after you peacefully. Bill Lee, I don't give a damn who you are. I fight on my knees praying that God will uncover your wickedness. You sorry thug. You piece of dirt. Backing up the governor that was in office that did all that. Raised your fatality rate. Maybe he'll get hit by a drunk driver. I don't know. It's happened to some of them. So he testified that I admitted the car was on fire when I passed it. I never said that. I never made that admission. That's not true. I don't think the car was on fire. That's false. I never said that. I did not see a burning car. Now he says we had a meeting Well, we watched the video, and I said that. Of course, that was not recorded. So he's lying under oath. He's making up evidence that wasn't there. I never watched the video with Sergeant Johnson. Why do you say that? He got promoted. He's a captain now. He got promoted for backing up the liars and taking property. I never said that. I did not see a burning car. Oh, another witness on the record that called 911 called it because she heard a loud noise. She looked out her window and couldn't see a car. It wasn't on fire. It caught fire after I'd already passed it. So that is a lie, a factual lie, substantiated what I was saying by a witness on the scene, and a trooper comes in and lies later that defies all the evidence. And the judge says, we got a gun on you, we're taking your property. I'm Judge Randall, a favor of the dirtbag in the state. That's what they'll do to you. They're not just doing this to me, they'll do it to you. They do it all the time. So we're talking about real life stuff, how they do. And I got some creeps watching me. I know. Hey, I would not mess with fire. It will burn you. That's your warning. Now, it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm good to go. I'm a fighter. You want to test that? You want to test this stuff? You'll grab a hold of a live wire. You won't fare well, I promise you that. I promise you that. And you just read this right here. Just look at this right here. People think I'm a toy. Yeah, I'm a big toy. Go, hey. Anyone need to know where I'm at to do me harm? Someone asked last week. I promise you, you won't like what you find. So, you know, I'm just saying, I'm not a toy. Very proficient in defending myself. Self-defense. And we'll work out the lying legal stuff later, I guarantee you. You try to grab hold of me, I don't care, deputy, whatever, this shit'll go down. That's your promise. So find me to do me harm at your own damn demise. And if you do succeed, hey, I'll go right straight to heaven. This world ain't a good place anyway. Full of dangerous, dirty people in government power. So he said I said the car's on fire. I never said that. Show the proof. Captain Terrell Johnson, you dirty lying thug. Hey, you got kids. I got kids too. You'll run over mine. I wouldn't run over your children. That's what the Highway Patrol does. They'll run over your children. Yeah, I'll run back over you. So to speak, symbolically, we're running every day. Getting the truth out. Other countries know the cesspool of sickness in the great America where the government is the danger. Where's the recording? Where's the transcript? Where are the notes? None were produced. He just made that up in his mind because it fit the narrative that they wanted to say that I drove past a car that was on fire in the middle of the night that I didn't see. That doesn't even make sense. Because they're going to get what you got no matter what the truth is. They don't have to play by any rules. His own admission, page 123, Johnson said, when we show a video, we're not really on the record. Yeah, we didn't record that part that I'm making up. Of course they didn't. Read that again, off the record. When it allegedly happened, then used on the record to help destroy me. Say it, Sergeant Terrell Johnson, you're a dirty liar. I'm still in pursuit of your ass. It's been a long pursuit. I hope there's a tree coming up. Big boy, you might not live to enjoy your big fancy retirement. You dirtbag thug. You look at the trooper cars. They're symbols of disgust. They're symbols of a tyrant government against you. Now, I'm the one that'll help you. You want to go along with the program, go ahead. You're next. 4 people. Sergeant Ron Cockrell, the dirtbag Cockrell. Hey, you don't pay my bills. I'm not trying to play nice. You're not feeding my children. You went after them, Cockrell. Where the hell you at, boy? Where the hell you at, big tough Cochran? I'm out here, boy. Won't you look me up now and ask me a question? I got one for you. Why you dirtbag, dirty, thieving, crook, thug that facilitates running over my children, Ron Cockrell? Look at those trooper cars. Dirtbags. Look at the Knoxville Bar. They're here to help you. Don Bosch, I'm here, boy. Come and get me, you thug. Captain Victor Donahoe. He's a hoe. Where you at, Captain? Living high on Tennesseans' money? Maybe you might get hit by a drunk driver. Sergeant Johnson and me, 4 people. 0 recording, 0 transcript of the part they made up. Surprise testimony. Not in a report, not in his deposition, not disclosed beforehand, then suddenly it appears in my hearing. That's what the Knoxville bar will do to you. Well, hell, I guess you're going to jail. Thank you for paying me. I appreciate that. Don Bosch will say it. When I was a trooper, boy, a trooper walked past him and hold his head up. He's better than you all. My lawyer objected. My attorney told the judge, I've never heard in any document or any deposition heard of this meeting that is trial by ambush. The judge said, if it was not in Johnson's statement, it would not be considered. Then why was it allowed to poison my case? Because the judge crooked too. I'll show you about the judge crooked. 2 stories. Johnson kept saying, the car was on fire. A witness on the scene said that was there that night, that was interviewed that same day, said it wasn't on fire. But Johnson, who wasn't there, who needed to light the car up so that he could convince the public that it was easy to see, in spite of facts, and the judge allowed the lies, and they'll allow a lie right into the death chamber for you. And I guarantee you it won't take 30 years for them to execute an honest citizen. It'll take a few years for them to execute somebody that stands up against the government for what's right. Johnson kept saying the car was on fire. I kept answering, it wasn't. So even in the recorded part of the transcript, although later in the unrecorded part, he swears under oath that I said it was on fire, but in the recorded part, I keep saying it wasn't. So which one was it? I said it was on fire in unrecorded, and then where it's recorded, where I can document, I said it wasn't on fire. Same answer again and again. So Sergeant Terrell Johnson is a dirty perjurer that his ass ought to go to jail. He's living high off captain's pay. Your tax money has to pay his lying ass to convict you. That's what the government is. The greatest threat to America, the greatest threat to Tennessee is your government. Is Governor Bill Lee flies that Christian banner. I'm not going to shoot him. I pray about him, that God will judge him, expose him for worse than a transvestite. Worldwide, Governor Bill Lee, don't you hate me pretty bad? People in other countries know how dirty you are, you sick, pathetic liar. What I saw later, days later, watching the video, I could see smoke in the distance. That's hindsight. That's not what I saw that night. The magic trick. Take it invisible, off-the-record conversation, turn it into testimony, into a finding, turn that finding into destroying somebody's career that's out here better than anyone else in these states, protecting your roads. Now I'm protecting you still against them. They just changed the target. I didn't go anywhere, government. Right here I am, come and get me. It's called America, freedom of speech. The world is listening to Charles Van Morgan, and what I have to say about you, your ass ought to go to jail. I would love to get elected. We'll start investigating you and put you behind bars. We'll clean out the innocent people that you put there to have a jail cell for you. And some of you, quite frankly, need to be executed. Judge, change judge. The signed record shows my case moved from Judge Richard Collier to Randall Lefevre. Why? Tennessee deserves an answer. I'll tell you why. Because Richard Collier had previously adjudicated in cases for troopers and put them back to work. They didn't want my case to be adjudicated by a fair judge. There are some. Judge Don Ash is not one of them. They wanted a judge that would adjudicate against me, so they got Richard Collier. So they took Richard Collier off the case and put Randall Lyon Lefevre, who committed a crime. The judge committed a crime in my case, violated the law. But that's okay. They get to do that because it's about guns and force and killing you and power. It's about a war. It's not about adjudicating the law. could care less about that. They know what they're going to do. They try to make it look as good as they can. So, I'll show you the documents of the judge being removed, the assigned judge removed from my case. Like, share, and comment. Subscribe to the channel. I'll show you the document that shows the judge removed from the case, and I'll show you exactly why. He was removed, and we'll explain this stuff to you in plain, simple terms. How they do, and they'll do you this way. It's not just me. They'll do you this way. So, here's the judge that was removed from the case, and another judge put in office, put in the to adjudicate over my case. So if they can't find, if the judge that you're in front of is not going to rule accurately, then they will appoint one who will do what the governor wants them to do. Hand-picked judges. Now they got Judge Don Ass down here from Nashville. Sound like a hand-picked judge. I've met Judge Don Ass, the one that's deciding the case for the Knox County deputies that are accused of stealing your tax money wrongly. So, can't find the paper here. How's it going?
Not too bad. Is that my drug smuggling docket?
Do what now?
Is that my drug smuggling docket?
I don't know. No, this is a case about me. Did the courts mistreat you too?
I reckon.
Did they? So what's your name?
I don't know why you go ask that bunch of people doing that.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, who's at this bunch of police officers? They snatched my state ID. Let me go back there.
I don't know. I'm talking about my case.
I don't know. He's a big old drug dealer.
I'm sorry. So, Judge Randall Lefevre was reappointed instead of 100 people on here, instead of the judge who was originally assigned to the case. And Randall Lefevre heard my case on June 26, 2013 to get my job back because I was wrongly terminated, and he dismissed my petition to get my job back March 17, 2014. Now that's on St. Patrick's Day. Interesting. Administrative Judge Richard Collier, they say dismissed Morgan's appeal. No, it wasn't. It was hand-picked Judge Randall Lefevre, who is reassigned to rule in the government's favor against me despite law and facts, to allow perjury of Sergeant Johnson, who testified that I said the car was on fire. I never said that. And in addition to the hand-picked judge, the ruling came late in violation of TCA Code 45314. A final order rendered pursuant to subsection A or initial order rendered pursuant to subsection B shall be rendered in writing within 90 days after conclusion of the hearing or admission of proposed findings in accordance with Section F, unless such period is waived or extended with the written consent of all parties or for good case shown. So, because they handpicked a dirty judge to put the weight of law on Captain Terrell Johnson's lies in saying that I admitted that the car was on fire when an eyewitness on the scene said that. Later on in the recorded testimony, I said it wasn't on fire, it wasn't on fire. But earlier when it wasn't recorded, he has no proof that I said that it was on fire. He says that I said that it was on fire. These are judges that are fair hearings in Tennessee. Ran over my children. So he put out a ruling past the 90-day period, violating the law, specifically violating the law, putting it out on St. Patrick's Day to send a message. Wow. But it doesn't matter if he violates the law, backs up lies of the people in government power. That's what they do. That's what the Knoxville Bar does to you. You're a Knoxville Bar, dangerous and dirty as hell. That's what they do to you. You know, Randy Good-for-Nothing Nichols, member of the Knoxville Bar, who lies, lied on me. He says that I must be guilty because I asked for a lawyer after I'd done everything I could do. So they even use your attempts to defend yourself against you. Nothing wrong with getting a lawyer. Randy Good-for-Nothing Nichols, who is now a liar for the Sheriff's Department, Knox County Sheriff's Department, the illustrious Sheriff's Department. 11 deputies, after they committed the crime 10 years ago, are being tried for a crime that they allegedly committed 10 years ago. Justice works just fine in Knoxville. The Knoxville Bar. The Knoxville Creeps. So, Randy Nichols, who lied for the state in depositions, is a member of the Knoxville Bar. He bragged on the Knoxville Bar. He was illustrious Knoxville Bar, yeah. He covered for Judge Baumgardner, who was raping women in the courthouse, a member of the Knoxville Bar. He's got their little cesspool of lawyers of sickness. It's probably an honor I'm not a member of the Knoxville Bar. And that's why I'm not, I'm honest. So Randy Nichols, who lied for the government, admitted he lied. Admitted he lied under oath. No penalty though. Is now, and the only reason why he admitted it is because it could be proven, he is now a lawyer for the murderous Knox County Sheriff's Department. So, believe them, they go out and kill somebody, no cameras. They've got a lawyer that used to be a prosecutor that lies under oath. Admitted he lied under oath. So you're safe in Knoxville. They'll kick in your door, kill you, and they'll say, hey, we had to kill your house, you're not. We had to kill you. We don't have any video evidence or proof of it. We could have took video evidence. But we don't want video cameras recording our crimes because we will tell you what happened. We don't want to show you what happened. It'll contradict what we tell you because we're liars. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. So they got a lawyer that's a liar that represents the sheriff's department. So you're paying for their defense. It won't be against you because you're dead, that your family will be trying to get justice. The 90-day rule. Tennessee law said a written order within 90 days unless lawfully waived or extended. That's the law. So a Tennessee judge adjudicated against me violating the law. I didn't violate any law. I carried the sword. Did it effectively. Administered justice. People think I'm a coward. Hey, you got some bad data. They took 264 days, not 90 days. 264 days. Nearly 3 times the 90-day period in violation of the law. You got to obey the law. The laws are written for them to break if they so well choose to put it out on St. Patrick's Day, to make a stand that we'll lie if we want to. And we're proud of it. Line Lefevre And these are people that your TBLE backs up. Don't say nothing against the judiciary while they're taking your property, while they're defending people, and lawyers, while they're defending people that go in your house without any record and tell you what happened. And got lawyers that have lied in the past that you're paying to do all that stuff against you. The greatest threat to Tennessee is your government, people in power. Is Randy good-for-nothing pedophile Nichols? And I say that because gaslighting. When you accuse somebody else of something that's not doing it, it's probably because you got the ideal because you're guilty of it. That's what I think. So, the written waiver shows extension, show the good cause. They don't have any. I didn't want extension. I was waiting for the ruling. I have the numbers written up in my bedroom. How many days to the 90 days? Counting them off. It went well past that. Came out on St. Patrick's Day. The judge is setting a ruling. Hey, we don't care about the truth. They don't care about your truth either. You won't get a just hearing in a Tennessee courtroom. You'll get home cooked by crooks. That's the truth. I'm in pursuit of them now. How am I doing? Worldwide. Hey, Canadians. They laugh at you, say it's a trash bag up there. I'd say it's a trash bag here in Knoxville. It's called freedom of speech. See if they don't try to kill me over this. The first round might be theirs. They better make it good. The next round's in self-defense. Numerous are mine. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. So, the TBLE, Tennessee Board of Law Examiners. What a wonderful organization they are. You know what they did? Went in to a hearing to try to get my law license. Other younger kids went in there, some of them convicted crimes. Some of them worked for THP, they'd been fired for stuff. They had federal court cases adjudicated against them, so obviously they did something wrong. My case was adjudicated before a federal court. They dismissed it, didn't do anything wrong. In this same case, a federal judge dismissed the case against me. Well, a Knoxville lawyer lied, said I was hiding. A Knoxville lawyer, Garza. What a hero you are. Hey, I'm out here, Garza. Won't you come on down? Let's have a little discussion about how you endangered my children, boy. Got more money from taking money off people, billboards all over the place. How do you get those billboards up? Lied, said I went down the street and hid. Does it look like I'm hiding, Garza? Where you at, boy? You thug, you endangered my children, Garza. I'm here. You scared? I'm a law-abiding citizen. You're a worthless, low-life, lying thug. Hire him at your own demise. I ain't got no money you can sue me out of, Garza. You piece of shit. You hurt my children. I'm still in pursuit of your ass. Lawfully speaking the truth. You liar. Didn't go down the street and hide. You're a hider. You're a hider. He went, got on the news, Garza. He's well known here in Knoxville. Oh, he's a UT football player advocate. Wow, he's nothing but a dirty, lying joke. Part of the Knoxville bar even thinks it's a joke. Said I went down the street and hid. He was on the news defaming me. That trooper saw that wreck. It was on fire and he drove past it. Why would I do that? I'm not driving past you, boy. I'm out here. I don't aim to play it, boy. Hey, Garza, get up, boy. It's still on. You piece of shit. You ran over my children, boy. Are you scared? I'm law-abiding. Now, he got on the news defaming me. News media followed my little children around. I know where his office is. I can stand out on the sidewalk. Hell, Garza, come on out here. Come on, Garza, come on. I'm not going to waste my time with that dirtbag. So he got on the news, running me down. This is what they do to you. Got on the news, running me down. To the world, he's in the prosecutor's office. Oh, they was getting their little Knoxville bar thing together. We're going to run over Charles Van Morgan. It's out protecting you. Randy, pedophile Nichols. How you doing, Randy Nichols? I'm calling you a pedophile. Those fighting words. Get out here. You piece of shit. Works for the sheriff's department who will try to kill you without a video recording, of course. So he sued me, all in the news. Big old fancy Garza. Does he have legal papers? I'm just asking. He got his case dismissed. Lied, said I went down the street and hid. He's not worth dirt. A creep, dirtbag, lying thug, disgusting. Other lawyers don't even like him. There are some good members of the Knoxville Bar. So he said I went and hid down the street and hide. Let my camera run, following orders. So Garza, you know the Knoxville attorney Garza, on the radio running a trooper down line. So he sued me. They fired me the same day he sued me. Wrongly. His case was dismissed. And his client was previously, Garza was speaking up against me and my children for the Knoxville Bar. That's your symbol, the Knoxville Bar, Garza. Every time you think about the Knoxville Bar, think about Garza. And other countries know about you, Garza. I'm a fighter. I was effective that night. I'll be effective today. I pray about you, boy. I believe in God. Right is right, wrong's wrong. You can't liar your way out of the truth. God sent Van, bitch. Excuse me. But he was out on the news publicly defaming me with lies, and the government helping him. Oh, they love lies. Then his case got dismissed in federal court. People ride down the sidewalk. There's a scooter place over there. They talked about the other day on the news, the scooters, people getting hurt on these things. They're hurting innocent civilians walking down the road. He was on the news prior to his case being dismissed, thinking he's going to win a lot of money, put up more billboards, so he can lie about more people out saving lives, risking their own life. While you was in your little coward office writing lies about me, I was out on the road defending people in real danger. You ever been in real danger, boy? You might be now, because I pray that God punishes you for your lies against my children, boy. Garza, the child defamer. But then the case got dismissed, and his client was out in front of the courthouse being interviewed by the news media by himself. What a coward. Where'd you go, Garza? Where'd you hide at, boy? You chicken shit. SOB. So they took 264 days to decide the case. Why did they take that long to put it out on St. Patrick's Day? The TBLE put their ruling against me to deny me a law license after they took money from taxpayers and from me on Valentine's Day. They put a ruling against me on Valentine's Day. Why would they do that? They're showing me they hate me. They hate Tennesseans. My case dismissed on St. Patrick's Day. My law license denied on Valentine's Day. You call it coincidence, I call it a message. That's how dirty these people are. That's how dirty the Tennessee judiciary is in the state of Tennessee. So we will progress. We'll progress. That's a judge's crime. Violate the law. The message is we control the process. We control the timing. We can take your career and rub your face in it. And they can take your damn property. This is administrative law judge that decides if these deputies get to build gold-plated commodes and duck blinds and repair their cars. It's your money they're taking to do that illegitimately. These are the judges that rule that you violate the law. They get your money for their own purposes. Same judge. Public court records show LaFavor also presided over asset forfeiture cases involving government seized property. So you think it's just me? They'll take your property. Now look at Knox County. 11 current or former KCS employees were indicted. The TBI alleges more than $300,000 in seized drug money went to personal expenses. 10 years after they committed the crime. Now, they're going to start not saying Lefevre stole the money into his pockets directly. He gets paid. The government demands build the trust. I am saying government, Randall Lefevre stole the money. A lot of cases. An indictment is not a conviction, but these allegations were serious enough for a grand jury to return charges. The public has every right to question the system that has delayed for so long. The pattern, an invisible conversation, surprise testimony, a reassigned judge, a 260-day, 4-day wait, a promotion after the lies, a career destroyed. That's not one little mistake. That's a pattern. The most dangerous people to Tennessee and America is your government. Show the recording, show the transcript, show the waiver, show the extension, show Tennessee the truth. They had the badges, they had the bureaucracy, they controlled the process, but I have the transcript, now Tennessee will see it. That's the cover-up, and that's what they do to you. Here is what I was looking for earlier, which shows how they manipulate evidence. They will do the same to you. Reassign hand-picked judge to rule for the state. They will do the same to you. So, like, share, comment, boy, we're losing people. That's the reassigned hand-picked judge to rule for the state. Please note for your records that the case has been administratively assigned from Judge Agents to mine, Judge Lefevre, so he can lie for the state. And here's the TCA code, 45314, a final order, pursuant to the case. So can you all hear me? So thank y'all for watching, and we'll show you the evidence of the record, and here's where Captain lied. I'm not indicate the conference took place to you for the record. I'm not real sure if it's in the record or not. Well, let's go through it and see. If you made note of the interview you did with Mr. Morgan when y'all watched the video, and I will add for the record, it's common practice that when we show a video, we're not really on the record, we're just looking at the video. And that has been common practice several times with myself and another employee that was interviewing, viewed video, and then we'll just move on. So it may be documented there, but we watched it. No, we didn't. Who else was in the room with you when you watched the video of Mr. Morgan? Sergeant Ron Copper, Captain Victor Donahoe? No, they weren't. That didn't happen. In the interview, Your Honor, may I interrupt, please, so we may move on a little bit faster. If they took it, 39. I think and look that big paragraph, Mr. Morgan. So, but he had cleared in the pursuit, right? And he was found in compliance with the pursuit. I'm not sure at the time, because what happens is he may be cleared, but that goes through a different record system. The captain has to do it, and it has to go up the chain of command. So I can't answer that accurately. I don't know if he was cleared or not. My focus was on go in, and I have to start from the beginning and understand the end. So I was cleared from the suit. Midway down, Captain Donahoe speaking kind of large paragraphs of the page, probably the fourth sentence there in the middle of the paragraph. Like I say, pursuit, I don't think there's any problem with pursuit. The pursuit was good. So the pursuit was good. Do you see that? Okay, so you was at your job, we were sort of second guessing Captain Donahoe on that, your investigation of the pursuit. So see, this is the record where they lied about stuff. So where he is talking, maybe we'll answer some counsel's questions and we can move on. I don't know if it answers it all, but at least This is where it acknowledged that the video was being viewed and there were things that the video camera saw that Morgan didn't see. Mr. Parks, Judge, I don't understand Mr. Martin's testimony in this matter. Ms. Martin, no, I don't, and I'm not testifying. I'm trying to move this along. I'm pointing out to you a statement that you have given to my witness, and you keep asking the same question. Mr. Parks, will, can you direct me to where he says that he watched the video with Sergeant Johnson? What he said here, the video camera shows it clearly. That entire paragraph apparently is about toward the middle. I know what the video camera, that's not what I saw. Obviously, they are either watching or they had, so that's a lie. Here's what this is a gross assumption of the highest order and inappropriate comment, and there's nothing to indicate that they watched that video. Mr. Parks, let me just ask you, is there some reason that you're not just introducing that as exhibit? So they lie about stuff. They lie about stuff in the record. And here's why they lied. Here's why they lied. June 2011. Confidential complaint filed by Trooper Morgan for age discrimination against the Department of Safety, Sergeant Larry Russell, via the Department Design Complaint System. So here's why they lied. Up until this time, I was good. And then I filed a complaint against now State Representative Lyon Lowell Russell. So I didn't even make it public. I went through their system to make a legitimate complaint against Larry Russell for age discrimination, a violation of the law. The little kid liar that he is. And that's the reason why they lied on me. Because I made a legitimate complaint against Lyon Lowell Russell. The way you're supposed to do it. Confidential. I didn't even publicize it. And then Lyon Lowell Russell gets all this stuff started. And now he's a state representative over law enforcement. So he's over a big pack of lies. He's over a big pack of lies. They will kill you or a member of your family and lie about it and get promoted for it. It's what they will do. And it's crooked as hell what they do. So, criminals. In America, interest in the criminal behavior of citizens not handicapped by poverty and dispute dates to the early years of the 20th century. From the onset, scholar objectives were used with strong elements of much racking and moral condemnation. Among the first to turn attention to crimes of privilege was sociology E.A. Ross, 1907, noting that changing conditions of social and economic life had created both opportunities and new forms of crime. Ross referred to those who exploit those criminal opportunities as criminaloids, he warned. So these people in government power are criminaloids. Today, the villain most in need of curbing is the respectable, exemplary, trusted person who strategically placed at the focus of a spider web of vicious relationship is able from his office chair or judge robe to pick 1,000 pockets, poison 1,000 sick, pollute 1,000 minds, or imperil 1,000 lives. It's the great scale, high voltage criminal that needs the shackles, leaving little to doubt as the moral reproach he believed they deserved. Ross licking criminaloids to wolves. His analysis and call received little attention from academia until now. These people in government power are criminaloids. The greatest threat to America. People in government power. So, it will be interesting tomorrow we'll see if Tennessee executes this man right here. He's set for execution. State set to execute next year, Riverman Maximum Security Institute, Davidson County. And we'll see if they execute him. Remembered as victim, not just a case before Tennessee execution. Tennessee death row inmate scheduled to be executed next month is at the center of a new legal fight tied to the state's most recent failed execution attempts. So, he's set for execution tomorrow at 11 o'clock Knoxville time. And we'll see if he gets executed. And there's the victim of the execution, a hotel maid. Governor Bill Lee talking about executions. The worthless thug that he is. And hopefully they will execute him. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Committed his crimes in 1986. So, they had the badges, they had the bureaucracy, they controlled the process, but I have the transcript. Now Tennessee will see it. Stop the cover-up. And that's what we're trying to do in the great state of Tennessee against these thugs in power. Thank y'all for joining me. Like, share, comment. Thanks for the contribution. We will see if we have any comments that are worth reading. Firing squad. President Trump is a go. Let's see. Brood, I have a feeling you're probably on or should be on some kind of watch list. And again, nobody takes you serious, so maybe not. Okay. Well, evidently you're wasting your time with me. Renee Good was a domestic terrorist. I agree with that. She got what she asked for. I don't think I've ever seen so many complete patriotic morons in one comment section. So, any other comments, I'll try to answer them right now. Thank y'all for showing up. I don't know how many views we got. Let's look at the comments that we got first. Typical Trumper. Yeah, you want this country to fail. The Supreme Court said protect and serve is not for the people, but only for the government. Trump was the Clintons' #1 donor in the 90s. He wants Israel to control America. King Trump. Boy, I got a lot of haters in here. This dude is a useful idiot. Yeah, I already read that. Trump is a family man. Let's see. Alpha Omega said hello, hello. You liberals want some more, I got you. Stormy Daniels. I'm here to show this video as a warning to my kids on why you shouldn't smoke crack when you're pregnant. Okay. I don't understand that. Trump pray. Marvin Hesley said hi, hello. Understand I'm done with you people. The guy must be funny to look at filming himself. You are correct. The government is for certain people. Everyone else is sheep. That's right. Who was president months before 9/11? Clinton. Who sent an airplane full of cash to Obama? Republicans have been the problem since the nut Reagan. So, Fearless Soldier 88. What does that mean, Fearless Soldier? So let's get a few more likes and shares. Thank y'all for watching. We may go to see the press conference at the hopefully execution tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. So thank y'all for watching. And we've got some new technology here. We're going to use this tablet instead of wasting paper. So we'll use a tablet to use notes for, and instead of wasting paper. So thank y'all for showing up. And any last comments, I'll be glad to read them and answer to them. Thank you for the like and share. Help us get this message out. We have a federal lawsuit in federal court trying to get my law license, defend ourselves against the lying TBLE that put out their ruling against me on Valentine's Day. Can't stand cigarette smoke. And we're on the governor's ballot, and we're fighting the hell out of these dirtbags. Speaking the truth to power. And these thugs here in Knoxville, in the Knoxville bar, how crooked they are. Thank y'all for listening. We may do a show tonight to see how well it fares with the views we've had. Thank y'all for showing up. May God bless you all. I pray God loves you, and I do too.